One more time we're feeling, ladies and gentlemen. Are you ready to do it one more time? And the lights are on and away they go. That's a brilliant start from Hemingway again. Very, very nice. The 87 of Hurren is alongside him, and Higton is going to get swallowed up by the third row by the look of it. The 26 of Rankin is pushing through, and he's going to look to be 5th place while they get through Paddock Hill Bend, but they've got to get through Paddock Hill Bend first, and that's enough of a tall order for them. They're hanging in it. It looks like they got through okay. The top 3 are line astern just as they were, but I think that's Higton trying to go the long way round as they go up to Drews. Didn't quite work, and in fact the 26 of Ranking has forced his way out the inside of Pullen, and they're going to be 2 by 2 by 2 behind the front 2 as they all get down to 3 wide into Graham Hill Bend. Higton lunges up the inside, squeezes Ranking out, and he's going to hit O'Kane as they come into Graham Hill Bend. They're throwing elbows everywhere. They've picked up right where they left off. Bring it on. I'm ready for this. This is going to be fantastic. This is like another 12 rounds in a heavyweight boxing match. Fantastic. Let's bring it on, shall we? The front 3 have got away just about, so they've reset to where they were. Hemingway leads it from Hurren in 2nd, Pullen 3rd, but behind them it is pretty much anyone's game. I can see Lockwood trying to make up ground. I can see Harrison on the grass on the inside of Clearways. He's about to be 3 wide as they come down the front straight, trying to gain positions in. The front 3 are broken away a little bit. Higton is up to 4th, ahead of O'Kane in 5th, Rankin down to 6th, and he's going to get passed on the outside by the look of it by Paul Calloway as they go up to Paddock Hill Bend for the first time. Meanwhile, we look back to the field. Harrison is carving his way through the field. He's up on the inside of Luke Steggles already in the 45, so he's chopped his way through. He's rolled off 25th, remember. He's already across the line in... Where is he coming across the line? Goodness me, I think he has made up quite a few positions already. Let's have a look. They're still clean. Paddock Hill and Druids, unbelievably, just about. He's up to 18th already as Harrison, so that's a good start. He's made 7 positions on the opening lap. This is where he really needs to make hay, and he's still scything through this field. Ladies and gentlemen, the come from behind victory here is on for Harrison. You better believe it. But meanwhile, these guys up front have no desire to even consider guys behind them. They're all about the here and now, and they're all about the people in that lead battle. It's still Hemingway, Arron, and Higton. No, it's not Higton, sorry, it's okay, that's Pullen. Sorry, yes, Pullen's showing on the timing screen. Yes, and Pullen is right up on the rear wing of Hurren's car. He moves out to the left. He's going to go to, this is deja vu. It is literally like Groundhog Day up here in here today. But when the racing has been this good, I don't mind how often it repeats. It will never get boring. Harrison coming across the line again. Where's he now? He must be in the top 15 by now, the way he's going. He's up to 15th now, so that's 10 positions in 2 laps. The way he's going, still got 12 and a half minutes of this one. He's got plenty of time to make it up to the front end and shake up this top order. Hemingway's just gapped Hurren just a tiny bit as they come from Graham Hill Bend, but Pullen is all over the back of Hurren, and that's just not surprising. Pullen looks out for the car speed on the top 3 in the last race. He looked to be faster than at least Lockwood and Harrison, and he seems to have some sort of pace for Hemingway. So I think what's going on here is he can see Hemingway there, and he's trying to carve his way through and make sure that train doesn't leave the station, and he's going to do it through McLaren, is he? But he's been pinched down too narrow on the inside. We've got a spin behind them. I think that might be Ranking in the 26 who's bailed it off in the gravel at Clearways. I think they're going to be side by side for 2nd across the line. Now what happens? We're going to have another safety car. I have a horrible feeling we might do, because that car is beached in the gravel right off the racing line. Definitely going to be yellow flags in that sector. And we'll see. It was a quick clear up in the first race when that happened. So we'll see if we have a safety car here in the second race. He's definitely beached it over there, stuck well and truly in the gravel. So you wait to see if we have a return of the safety cars. Harrison still cleaving his way. He's taking a meat cleaver to this field in front of him. He's hacking away. Yes, here we go. The yellow flag is in the starter's hands. This does not surprise me at all. The safety car is going to be deployed. They need to get some sort of recovery vehicle out there to shove him out of the gravel. He's quite close to the racing line, so close enough for it to be a bit of a hazard, but also hopefully close enough in that it should be removed fairly quickly. I mean, they did a great job with the recovery in the first race. So let's reset after a manic first 3 laps. It's Hemingway leading the way as he's done all day today since the start of the first race, and it's Hurren. Well, Hurren has just been dispossessed of 2nd by Pullen. So now Arron Pullen in that number 7. We told you that that car had a lot of car speed and potentially had car speed on those in front of him, including Hemingway in race 1. I think he now he's cleared Hurren. This could be a great chance for him to take a shot at the 2nd race victory here. He has to feel confident. He has to feel like this is a great shot for him. We've got 10 and a half minutes to go in this one, so hopefully the clean-up shouldn't take that long. We should have a good few laps in hand, although, to be honest, I don't think anyone's going to complain if we have another 1-lap shootout like we did in the first race. I think the only guy who will complain is Mr. Nathan Harrison, who's made his way up to 14th place at the time of the safety car. In fact, that might have been even better. He's up to 13 positions in 4 laps. That is mega. That's 4 positions a lap. more than 4 positions a lap. And no, actually, I've got my maths horrendously wrong. That's more like, yeah, around 4 positions a lap. That is unbelievable. Can you believe it, ladies and gentlemen? That is extraordinary stuff. We told you that car is rocket ship quick, obviously suffering no damage or drama from its first race shunt. We also look for Adam Locke, when he's up to 8th place, so his own comeback is on. Those 2 cars are ridiculously fast out here, but it's just a matter of how long they can plow through all those cars. Here's the car that did go off over there. It's number 26 ranking, which is such a shame. He was running in the top 5 at the time. JCB is over there and will look to tow him away to that little tarmac section just to the left of that gravel trap. Desperately unfortunate. If he'd had that wreck a little bit more to the left, he could have been on the tarmac and he could have recovered it. He's beached it over in the gravel. This is exceptionally deep. Me and my Downforce Radio colleague Jake Sanson did a track walk here a few weeks ago. And for an half, we went to sort of wander around in the gravel trap. And it's almost like quicksand. It's ridiculous how deep those gravel traps are. And obviously they have to be for safety reasons to really stop those cars. But you can understand why cars get bogged down in them so easily. And well, Rankin's car has already been towed away to a safe area. It's being dragged away now. If the recovery vehicle does its job as well as I think it will, we're just ticking down to 9 minutes to go now. We should go racing again at the end of this lap. They've just come across the start-finish line again. The safety car is at the bottom of Panicle Bend right now. So I think we might get a restart this lap, which will leave us a bit more time than we did in the first race to get going again. But no shortage of action. Let's unleash these dogs of war for once again. I'm not getting bored of this at all, are you? I can listen to 6 hours of this. My word, the MR2 Race Club racing series are putting on a mighty effort out here. Full credit to the Track Attack Race Club. They've had chock full grids for all their races this weekend in the Nippon Challenge, Tricolor Trophy, Activa Coupe Cup, and the YourIrishShop.com MR2 Race Series. And we have been rewarded with some spectacular racing masters on all in cars, ladies and gentlemen, that can pretty much be driven home from the track and driven to work tomorrow morning, and in cars that cost, in motorsport terms, about the sort of money you find walking on the pavement one day, walking to Asda, or down the back of the sofa. That's how cheap these cars are. Well, let's get our race faces back on then. The safety car's about to exit stage right, and Hemingway's really backed the field up here. He's gone for the tortoise approach and he's gone. But that really hasn't worked because Pullen has gone with him. And now the 3rd place car, Hurren, has moved to the right to try and defend from the 4th place car, Higton. They're going to be side by side for the lead as they come down to Paddock Hill Bend. Pullen got the run down the straightaway. Hemingway makes his car very wide as if to say, no, not on your life. I've not been overtaken at all today. Certainly not around the outside of Paddock. So Pullen goes, all right then, what about the outside of Druids then? And Hemingway's response will be a stern no as he parks it right on the apex. In fact, that's backfired for Pullen and given Hurren a shot at having a swing at him. And a few cars back, there's a car running wide there. He's sideways. He's kept it going very nicely. We've had a car go wide at Paddock Hill Bend as well. I'm just going to see which car that was. I think it might be, is that the 38? Yes, it is the 38 in Mustard, who's fallen down a little bit. He was in the top 10 at the time. He's fallen back, but that's a nice save. He ran very wide on the exit Druids. Meanwhile, this lead battle is really hotting up. Hemingway had to use all the skill and might to keep Lockwood and Harrison at bay in the first race, but he didn't have a rampaging Arron Pullen to deal with. Pullen is really getting up in his grills right now. This is intense stuff. He's got 6 minutes and 50 seconds to go as Hemingway to somehow hold on to take an unlikely double. His race 1 victory was well deserved. If he manages to hold on to get this one, I am officially a Dutchman, and I might have to get that Dutch phrase book out here because that defence is still going very strong. Pullen again being forced to the outside as they go towards Druids. Still side by side through most of the field, by the way. There's cars all over the track right now, side by side. They are literally 2 and 3 wide at either end of the racetrack right now, and Pullen is on the outside. Anyways, they come down to Graham Hill Bend. He steps back in line, and he's going to try and get the switch back, and that has worked quite well. Hemingway gets a good traction. They are so level pegging. Meanwhile, behind them, Harrison gets in a little bit of a dust-up with the number 13. That's Roger Pullen. So his charge up the order is still gathering momentum, but it's just checked for a little bit there. He's in 11th right now, and he can see that lead train getting away once again. He wants to maximise this and go wide from the clouds, try and cut back from clearways. They're 3 wide at the bottom end of the order. That was the 81 I saw diving to the inside. That's Reddit going to the inside there. They are literally running 2 and 3 wide at either end of the speedway right now. Magnificent stuff to close off this weekend of racing here at Brands Hatch. Meanwhile, Pullen again stalking the black number 5 of David Hemingway as they go through Paddock Hill Bend. This is great stuff. At the moment, Hurren has been slightly dropped by those 2, but he's still keeping a watching brief because he knows how balmy this race could go in an instant. He's the man who made it from 5th to 2nd in the first race. He knows that anything can still happen here. And the way these guys are going, I wouldn't put it past them to knock each other off. Because again, Pullen's cutting down through Graham Hill Bend. He's very aggressive through those corners. And he gets a good drive, but Hemingway has got good traction out of the corners well. So it's pretty much all odds even at the moment. The 88 of Rob Brown has run a little bit wider out of Druid, kicks up a little bit of gravel. They are still going side by side at either end of the order right now. This is fabulous racing. This is like, it's like your mum has just called you in for tea, but you're like, no, just what, half hour more. I don't want to come in yet. I want to keep playing for a bit more. That's what these boys are putting on right now. What a show. This is fantastic. We have just under 5 minutes to go now. And the top three are all pretty much back together again. Hurren has regathered his bearings and will catch back in, buy back into this fight. And something appears to be happening on the timing screen to Pullen, by the way. I wonder if his transponders failed or something. I don't see a black flag or anything, so I think his transponder has failed, because he most definitely is still in second. I can tell that from my eyes. But Hurren is in third, and the number 4 of Hinton is in 4th place. And in fact, Mr. Lockwood has just made his way back up to 5th place. So, is there time in this one? We've got just over 4 minutes to go. I think he's going to run out of time in this one, but Lockwood showing that great pace. Just behind him as well, the number 22 of Harrison has moved up to 9th place, and he's making a move on the 43 of Corbridge for 8th place with about a half spin down at Graham Hill Bend. That's the 45 of Luke Steggles. Even comes and gets back going. I think the 13's had a problem as well down there. That's Roger Pullen. He continues. I think he's got a mechanical issue actually. We've now got a car running wide out of Graham Hill, not Graham Hill Bend, it's all Clearway, sorry. It's all going on here. You really do need 360-degree vision to catch everything that's going on in these races. Meanwhile, the lead battle continues unabated. It's full of menace and malice right now. Pullen is just stalking the rear bumper of Hemingway's black number 5 car. Where does he make the move? Lockwood and Harrison had no answers to the questions that Hemingway was posing them in the first race. Does Pullen have the answer? Is that answer going to have to be a little bit physical? We saw her get a little bit of a touch on Lockwood at the end of the first race, but it was more hard racing rather than anything deliberate. Speaking of Harrison, hang on a second. He's now moving, he's now working on the 7th place car. This will be one of the comebacks of the century. Danny Kent, eat your heart out. This is magnificent from Nathan Harrison. He's now looking, he's actually working, I think, on the 6th place car. He's in 6th place, can you believe that? And Lockwood, just in front of him, not far in front of him, he's going to be scored. Harrison is going to be in the 7th place, and Lockwood 5th. This is quite a mega comeback from those two guys who got into each other on the final corner of the first race. We've got just over 2.5 minutes to go in this one, and Pullen is starting to look like a man who's running out of ideas. Indeed, the whole field has had no answer to David Hemingway. We've got a car blowing up at the back end of the field, laying smoke down all over the track. That's the number 2 of Ralph Blore. We hope that car's not dropping fluid, but he should hopefully pull in here up at the Surtees McLaren Escape Road. And no, he's continuing on. I guess someone needs to tell him that his car is vomiting smoke out the back end, but never mind, we continue. Whoa, he's completely lost it! Arron has completely lost it! And in fact, I think there's oil down. I think there's oil down at Graham Hill Bend, because suddenly 2 cars went sideways there. Hurren completely slid off. We've got another car going round. Definite oil down there. There's cars scattering everywhere. It's like an ice rink down at Graham Hill Bend. Hurren, the 3rd place car, completely skidded off. And we've had another car go sideways. We've got synchronised drifting. The 88 of Rob Brown nearly goes around the 36. Spencer Timo goes round. Definite fluid being spouted down on the track. There's the oil flag going out. Oh my word, if there's a worse place on the track to put oil down than Graham Hill Bend, I'd like to see it, because I think that's the worst place you could possibly have fluids going down. Oh my word, the 13 car, no, sorry, the 2 car Ralph Blore is putting fluid down. He's off the track now himself, but there's definitely fluids down at Graham Hill Bend. In fact, his car's still circulating. I don't know how much fluid he's still got left in it. He must be coasting. But my word, that is a bitter disappointment for Hurren, who's there in 3rd doing very strongly. And now these guys are going to have to tiptoe their way through. This is going to be incredibly delicate here. We've got a minute and a bit to go here. Not long to go, guys. You've just got to survive. And that's the car behaviour of Peter Hinton's car, as he's now inherited 3rd place. And he comes through. We had cars spinning left, right and centre here. And Lockwood still in 5th place. We've got another car spinning. That's the 92. That's the 92 car of Paul Calloway. Spins in front of the field, gets a little bit of contact from the 17 of Stephen Wright. And there's a car spinning completely backwards, a full 360 as they come down the hill. We've got 2 cars facing the wrong way at Graham Hill Bend. This is an absolute disaster area down there. And it looks like the leaders will only have to negotiate 1 more lap. But my word, Graham Hill Bend is nightmare corner. In fact, they've red flagged it, and I think that's a very wise decision. I know we were looking forward to a grandstand finish, but to be honest, if the race had been decided by a car falling off at Graham Hill Bend, it would not have been a fair result for this race. So the red flag is thrown just 45 seconds from home due to a mass amount of oil down at Graham Hill Bend, and I think officially half the field did 360s down there. There were 2 cars facing the wrong way there at the time of the red flag, And as I say, I do not blame the boys in orange and the stewards out here for throwing the red flag early, because as I say, we had 1 lap to go, and if the lead had been decided, if the victory had been decided by one of those cars going around, if Hemingway had lost it there, that just would not have been fair at all. It would not have been a way to decide this race. Quite a few cars filtering into the pit lane already. They just want nothing more to do with this. But I'll tell you what, in amongst another chaotic, bananas MR2 race series race out here, that's the only way I can describe it. Look who's come out on top. Again, it's David Hemingway. What a mighty pair of performances from him this weekend. What just, you've got to tip it. If you're wearing a hat right now, take it off and tip it to David Hemingway. What a mighty pair of performances for him in the number 5 car. The man from Pontefract in West Yorkshire, during the week, the man who owns business, director of a company that sells beauty products. My word, but it's been a beautiful day for him out here today. That's as much as my fairly tired brain can come up with in terms of dodgy puns, and I hope he appreciates that, because that's the best I've got right now. But my word, the Barnsley College Motorsport students can be very proud of their progress. They have built a mighty fine machine out here that Dave Hemingway has wheeled to a set of, wow, fantastic victories out here today. He had to fend off all comers. He fended off Harrison and Lockwood in the first race, and then the best advances of Pullen, the man who looked like almost certainly he was going to get the job done, just couldn't quite do it in the end. I think the oil down at Graham Hill Bend was a spanner in the works, but in the end, I don't think you can really take that one away from Hemingway at all. He had that one really, really sewn up. And Pullen, what a solid day of results he'll have. He'll take a 2nd in this race after a 3rd in the first race. And Peter Higton inherits 3rd place after that mad dash at the end of that race. Absolutely banana stuff, as cars were literally just trying to fight for survival through Graham Hill Bend. A grip with about as much grip as, I don't know, a soap in the bath. That's what the cars looked like when they were trying to brake down there. It was right in the braking zone as well, an evil place for oil to drop. I mean, it's never nice for fluids to drop on the circuit anyway. But let's run through the final results for you, shall we? And let's take a deep breath, because I think we all need it. Dave Hemingway is your double victor here in the YourIrishShop.com MR2 race series races out here at Brands Hatch, India. Mighty double victory. Great pair of performances from the man in black in the Barnsley Motorsport College students car. Mighty looking car that is, and what a pair of performances in the man. Well done indeed.